Yo, what is up YouTube, man? I'm sure you guys have already seen some videos talking about this, but I had to make one and talk about it myself. You can get glitchy with cap breakers in NBA 2K26. Check this out. This is just a 6'8" lock build, as you guys can see. Good perimeter, steal, block, some decent rebounding, good physicals, and the build can shoot. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to the 72 ball handle. With cap breakers, you can get +1, get it all the way to 77 with 5 cap breakers. Keep an eye on the driving dunk too. It started off pretty low at 55, but you get a +9, a +7. It gets pretty high just with a few cap breakers. Now, I'm going to show you guys a very similar build to the last one I had. The difference between this build is, the main difference is it has 71 ball handle, and everything else about the build for the most part is exactly the same. You still get the same type of build, but now you can get +15 with the cap breakers to eventually get your ball handle to an 86 rather than using 5 cap breakers to get it to a 77. Also, the driving dunk now, you're not getting that crazy +9, +7 from the 55 driving dunk. You're only going to get a +3 every single time. You're pretty much making the exact same build, but you can make it completely different with the cap breakers once you get them. Whereas with the other build, maybe you wanted to put your cap breakers on the driving dunk because you would get so much. Whereas with this one, since you went down to 71 ball handle, you can put it on the ball handle to get it to 86. Now, I made another change to the build. I ended up going with 73 driving dunk. I ended up lowering the perimeter, the block by a couple of points. Kept the same type of build, and as you can see, the difference between this build and the last build is not much. The cap breakers still seem pretty much the same. Even with having the driving dunk to a 73 instead of a 55, you're getting +2 instead of +3, but the driving dunk is 18 points higher. You wouldn't expect that to be the case. With 55 driving dunk, you would expect it to be like how it was, where I was getting some crazy cap break potential on the driving dunk. But it seems like when I changed the build slightly, I put the ball handle to 71. Now I'm getting the crazy ball handle caps rather than the driving dunk caps. There are so many things you can do with your builds in NBA 2K26. And a big part of it, as you guys can see, I changed the build up again. Went 80 driving dunk, 75 driving layup. Still able to get those cap breakers on the ball handle. Again, not too much has changed. So you can definitely play around with your builds and find a sweet spot. You know, you could change it slightly and be able to get maybe some crazy attributes on a stat like ball handle, or you could switch it and try to find a way to get crazy cap breakers to the driving dunk like we originally had it. If you have the ability to get cap breakers on your builds, definitely make a few versions of your builds, change some things slightly, and see what it does to the cap breaker potential of your build. I saw something crazy on Reddit where a guy ended up switching around his layup, his post control, found a way to bring his 76 block to a 96. And before he did that, before he made just the slight change to his build, he was only able to get +1 for every cap breaker to his block. After he changed it, I mean, he was able to get +9, +7. It's crazy what you're able to do with builds in NBA 2K26. Now, a lot of people are going to say it's a bit money hungry by 2K. They should definitely show us the cap breaker in the screen of making the build. But it does make builds kind of unique, you know. In the last few 2Ks with the free builder, it seemed like people would make very similar builds. They would upgrade the build to get the exact attributes, to get the badges they wanted, and builds would end up looking very similar. But now, if you change your build slightly, it's going to get different cap breakers compared to pretty much the same build with a slight difference. I like it. It definitely rewards you for being a bit of a mad scientist in the lab. If you're just, you know, a hooper, if you're not really trying to invest that type of time into it, then you don't have to. You know, the cool thing about it is, as well, no matter what cap breakers you get, you're going to be able to do some cool things with your build, and you're not going to be wasting cap breakers like last year when you would only get +1 if you had something like 67 three-pointer, you used +5 to get it to 72. That wasn't really doing anything for your build. It wasn't getting you any badges. Now, if you make a same type of build like that, you might mess around and the cap breakers might put that to an 80. It might put it to an 85. You just never really know. It depends on other attributes of your build. The cool thing about the thing I was showing you guys is, you saw at the end, it wasn't just the 71 ball handle, because when I completely switched the build, when I made it into more of a slasher, I was back to getting +1 for every single cap attribute on the ball handle. I wish there was some rhyme and reason, and there might be. I was in the lab trying to figure it out, but I have not figured it out yet, boys. I mean, it all just seemed very random. Let me know if you want me to make a series on this channel where people can send me their builds and show me the cool little changes they made to make it to where the cap breakers are way better than it was originally going to be. I would definitely enjoy something like that. It could get a bit crazy because, like I said, man, there's no rhyme or reason, so everything's just gonna seem random, you know? You might up post control by 10, and that ends up giving you +9 to your perimeter defense instead of +1. I mean, there's just gonna be all type of situations like that this year, and it's tough, man. You might see somebody with a similar build as yours, and he's getting, you know, +9 to his three-pointer, you're only getting +1, and you're just thinking, if I would have made the build just slightly different, it could have been way better with the cap breakers. But then again, maybe you get cap breakers on something that he doesn't, that he only gets +1s. It is what it is this year, man. I mean, the builder, it seems so simple. It seems so much like last year, but with these cap breakers, it makes it almost more complex than it has ever been. If you're a casual player, I'm sure I already lost. You probably have no idea what I'm talking about. You know, you're probably not even going to be thinking about anything like this when you just make your build. You're just going to make it, and whatever caps you get, you're going with it. But like I said, man, if you guys can get in the lab, if you can make just a few different versions of your build, check out and see how the cap breakers change. You might find out something glitchy that can make your build 10 times better than it was going to be with it. Little gameplay to end the video. If you guys saw, we were torching these dudes. I ended up doing an emo. I had the wrong one on. It ends up getting me a turnover. And now, man, the 2v2 meta, these guys are being smart with it. Big man ends up taking the little free throw range shot right there. This should be it. We should be able to lock down and beat him. I end up throwing it to Beast. He goes with the dunk. 20-13. Takeover for both of us. I have not missed a shot. I definitely want the ball to ice the game. And you guys are going to see, man. Throw it to Beast. I don't know what happened right there. I mean, he goes to dunk it. He doesn't get blocked because it's out on us, and these guys have another chance to win the game. You know, the safest take you could possibly take for a game, and we end up giving the ball. Center with it. This guard was very good. I don't think he actually missed a shot this entire game. His name is Scammer, so he might be plugged. He might be using a Zen. You never know. Passes it to his big. He's got that MPJ base on, able to knock down the shot. I'm going to be making a video talking about that jump shot. It's a really good jump shot for the stretch bigs. Obviously, I'm still using the one I posted, the Isaac. It's super up and down, very easy to time. He's got sharpshooting takeover. Beast's going to jump at it. Does not get a contest, 19-20. Right here, man, we got to force them to take it too. No threes to win the game, no dunks. Try to wear them out. Try to, you know, just play solid defense. Don't give them an easy look. Beast is in a weird position. I end up getting caught up. Get a 23% contest on that jump shot. Somehow, that's not usually the case. I will say with the MPJ jump shot, it does drag you in a bit. So that could have been something where maybe if he had Isaac, it would have been open. You'll never know. But as you guys can see, we end up winning the game. If you guys did enjoy the video, if you do want to drop a like and subscribe, of course, I appreciate it a ton, man. This is Tonic. I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.